Read Uncommitted. This transaction isolation level allows to see changes that have been made but not yet committed by other transactions. To memorize this transaction isolation better, let's consider the following example. Let's assume that we have Alice and Bob, they're a couple, and they would like to do grocery shopping, but separately. Alice will go to one grocery store and Bob will go to another. So, and they have an app where they're able to track items that each other would like to purchase, to not buy the same items, basically, to not have this intersection. Let's have a look into it. So basically, Alice comes into the grocery store and buys milk. App confirms the purchase. Bob comes also, buy bread, and Alice can see that Bob already bought the bread, so she doesn't buy it. Bob does the same, and he sees that Alice already purchased a milk, so he doesn't buy it. Alice adds to the cart also eggs, Bob adds apples, and then in the end, Alice does checkout, so she confirms purchase and buys all of those items, and transaction commits, finally finished. And the same with Bob, so he makes checkout and buys the items. So as we can see, because of this app, they were able to buy only unique items. So Alice milk and eggs, and Bob bread and apples. And as far as system used transaction isolation level read uncommitted, they were able to see uncommitted changes of each other. So this is the example where read committed actually can be used. Hope that makes sense. Read uncommitted is the most weakest transaction isolation level in databases that support ACID, but in the same time is the most efficient one due to its simplicity. Some databases don't use it at all, for example Postgres, but some use it, like MySQL or Microsoft SQL Server. Known anomalies that can happen with transaction isolation level read uncommitted are dirty reads, non-repeatable reads, and phantom reads. Now we'll have a look into dirty reads. Other parts we'll see on the following lessons. Here an example that will help you to understand dirty reads anomaly better. Let's assume that we have a customer that came to McDonald's and he goes to the self-service display and selects their items that he wants. And the display underneath the hood uses the transaction isolation read uncommitted, so it was selected incorrectly. What kind of situation can happen? So basically, is he selects cheeseburger and cola, so in the database creates entry in the order with the new client ID, and cashier sees that new order has been created, so he asks crew member to prepare cheeseburger and cola. So crew members grills burger patty, prepares Coca-Cola, and all of a sudden customer decides to cancel the order due to some reason and without paying for it. So cashier checks order status and realizes that the order doesn't exist basically anymore. It was roll backed on this step. We can mark that as roll back. And he sees that burger and cola is already prepared and sadly discards burger and cola to the trash. So to avoid such situations, we have to use like harder transaction isolation levels to be able to see only final results of the purchase, not the partial one. That's it about transaction isolation level read uncommitted. On the next lesson, we'll discuss read committed transaction isolation level and anomaly repeatable read.